All right, good evening. It is 7 p.m. The Board of Trustees of the LaPorte Independent School District is now convened. I wish to extend a warm welcome to everyone present. Every student's success is our number one priority. As the LaPorte ISD Board of Trustees, we are here to set goals, adopt policy, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and communicate the district's vision and success to the community. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operation of the district are the responsibility of the superintendent. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. School board meetings are open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. Audience participation is limited to the patron presentation portion of the meeting. Board members may not respond to the public comment section. These proceedings may be recorded, and I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking. Thank you for taking time this evening to join us for your interest in the LaPorte Independent School District. At this time, we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Please welcome the member of LaPorte High School JROTC, American Rifle Cadet Staff Sergeant Summer, American Flag Cadet Captain Cottrell, Texas Flag Cadet Captain Bailey, and Texas Rifle Cadet Private Powell. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Carry. Color. Color. Post. Ready. Seat. Center. Face. Present. Palm. Order. Palm. Mark time. Mark. Forward. March.
Again, a huge thank you to the members of our JROTC. They're a phenomenal group. Please remain standing for the invocation led this evening by Trustee Melissa Crutcher.
If you would please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, it is truly a blessing to come before you today in gratitude for all you do. Thank you for our amazing students, teachers, and staff who pulled off a great first week of school. We ask you for a school year of growth and possibilities realized to the potential that you see beyond our imaginations. Lord, just surround and protect everyone in this community and all who enter LPISD. And as we make decisions tonight, please let it be to the glory of you and all that you do. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I apologize. It's Secretary Crutcher, so I apologize. But thank you, ma'am. Please be seated. Now turn to Section 5, Public Comments. The board will now hear those who wish to make comments and who have completed and returned the public comment participation request. This section will be conducted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act and board policy. Complaints and concerns for which other resolution channels are provided shall be directed through those channels. Mr. Vice President, do we have any speakers?
We do. Mr. Jason Bailey speaking about delinquent and tax collection contracts.
Okay. President Martin, Board of Trustees, Dr. Jackson, Administrator, educators, and distinguished guests. My name is Jason Bailey. I'm with the firm of Purdue, Brandon, Fielder, Collins, and Mott. I'm joined here tonight by my partner, Justin Barlow, and we're here to thank you. Thank you for allowing us to represent the district for over 27 years in the collection of delinquent taxes, property value, audits, and appeals, as well as truth and taxation matters. This district does not have a delinquent tax collection problem. It did. Back in the 1990s, it had a bad problem. The previous firm did not do their job. The district was owed a lot of money. Probably even more importantly to the community, there were over 1,000 accounts in the name, real property accounts, of unknown owners that were blighted, not taken care of. And so the district, along with the city, realized that something had to be done. They issued an RFP. Our firm, the firm that's on your agenda tonight, and the firm that previously had it all responded to the RFP. And we were fortunate enough to convince the district at the time that we were the best delinquent tax collection firm for the business. And I hit the ground running. This was one of my first contracts. I started in 1996 with the firm. We started representing in 1997. So that's why I'm here tonight. Justin and I fought for the privilege to address with y'all, but I told him seniority sometimes wins. We hit the ground running. We began to immediately work with the tax office, the policies and parameters the district wanted, and improved the delinquent tax collections. More importantly, we began to address the issues of those blighted properties and began to do the title work necessary to find out who these unknown owners were, to flip those properties into new hands and new owners and clean them up. I remember doing title work and finding the last recorded deed was from a gentleman in Cayuga, New York from 1892. Became familiar with the ado and labidaires. It was a big project, and there was a lot of issues involved with it. But over the next years, we were able to flip many of those properties and get them into the names, many local people who bought them and turned them into good properties. And it changed this community, and I'm very proud of that. It's an example I use today of how the district working with delinquent tax collections can change a community. And I'm very proud of that. And that's why I'm here tonight. I also made sure we had excellent tax collections, and Justin has continued that in his career with our firm. Our property value study, audit, and appeals has brought in over $3.3 million in additional state funding during that same time. And our Truth and Taxation Division has worked with your administration and your tax office to fill out those forms and make sure those calculations are done correctly. It's very important to me when Justin came along and as an associate that he keep the high standards, and he has. In fact, we kind of turned it over. He's the number one now, and I'm the number two. But we kept those high standards through all these years. And like your motto says, we built a legacy of excellence in representing this district. We're very proud of that. So we weren't aware if there were any issues with our representation. So we're very shocked when we got the termination letters that we were being terminated. Nobody likes to get fired. And I immediately began to ask the questions of our staff and people. What happened? Where did we go wrong? Where did we fail the district and these services? I talked to our call center, talked to Justin, talked to legal assistants. Nobody could give me an answer. So thinking, hoping that after 27 years of representation, we'd have an opportunity to fix any errors, any shortcomings that we have. And that's why I'm here tonight. Respectfully request that y'all consider tabling the matter on the delinquent tax contract, issue an RFP. Go into competition to see which firm you still think would best represent this district. The city did this several years ago. They actually switched from us to the Linebarger firm. Then they switched back, and so we still represent the city. But that's what we're asking. But I want to end on how I started. Thank you. It has in part built my career representing this district, and Justin made partner in part because of the continued good job he did working for Porte ISD. We've appreciated being part of your community, attending the Education Foundation Gala and the golf tournament and the other events in the city. And so I just want to thank you, and we hope to have an opportunity to continue representing the district. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Bailey. Any more comments?
That's all.
All right, board, we'll move to item section 6, notice of public meeting for agreement for tax collection services. Notice is hereby given that a meeting of the LaPorte Independent School District will be held on August 19th, 2025 at 7 p.m. for the purpose of considering and taking action on all matters on the agenda for the meeting, including approval of an agreement with a law firm to perform all legal services necessary to collect delinquent property taxes and authorizing the execution of such agreement. You want to pull it first, or we need to go through these? Okay.
So, good evening, board and Dr. Jackson. So tonight we are bringing this to you, an opportunity for the district that we feel would be positive for the district. And we have representatives here from Linebarger who I'll ask that they introduce themselves. And if you have any questions that you would like to ask, feel free to.
Brian Harms, Director of Operations.
Hi, I'm Tanya Erickson Wood. I'm one of the capital partners in the Houston office.
Trey Stone, one of the capital partners in the Houston office.
Damon Edwards, I'm also one of the capital partners in the Houston office. I want to say I've been with the firm for 25 years. I don't think they told how long we've been here. Brian, how long have you worked with the firm?
Since 1996.
21 years.
27 years.
Are there any questions that they could ask? They could answer for you?
Maybe they do.
I have some, I guess, more for the district. I'm just kind of curious. It's too, again, with this district values relationships, right? And I know you guys, I trust wholeheartedly that you guys did diligence on this, but the idea of not coming for RFQ, I'm kind of curious as to, this is a very important, obviously, thing, revenue generation for the district. And so I want to throw the guess, but I'm sure it's millions of dollars a year in back taxes or outstanding tax. So something that large, why would it not go up for RFQ?
It's not a requirement for it to go off to RFQ, and we felt like, we had met with Linebarger, we had talked to some of the other districts that use them, and we felt comfortable with that we could bring this to you and ask for your approval. But it's definitely up to y'all. If y'all would like us to go for RFP, we can go down that road.
Mr. President, can we ask our colleagues that are here what they feel they do different or what sets them aside from Purdue Brandon to have?
Certainly.
Our firm has been in the delinquent tax collection services for over 50 years. Come 2026, we will be there 50 years. We provide innovative delinquent tax collection programs, and we're leading the charge with state-of-the-art technology in order to facilitate these programs, not only for collection performance, but also to work with your property owners in each community that we serve. We not only try to collect the dollars, but we also try to educate the property owners in the property tax collection process to try and help them not become another delinquent tax owner, if you will. The other thing that we do, we have property value study, audit, and appeals services that we provide, and we also have truth in taxation or tax rate adoption facilities and services, including a software system, as well as we have staff members who are extremely knowledgeable in that area, including former comptroller of public accounts staff members. We also spearhead a whole separate group that is our Governmental Affairs Department in Austin that helps lead the legislative effort of our clients in the property tax realm, as well as keep them abreast of all things that are happening in the legislature. If something comes up that needs to be discussed further with folks there, we also help do that as well. We have strong working relationships with the Harris Central Appraisal District, as well as various other taxing units that overlap the LaPorte Independent School District. In our Houston office alone, we have 300 staff members. We are very resource intensive. We have separate departments to handle anything from our customer service contacts area, as well as our delinquent tax litigation area. We have a whole separate bankruptcy department with separate dedicated bankruptcy attorneys that file claims on behalf of our delinquent taxing unit clients. We also have a separate foreclosure property department that handles all of our foreclosure sales and resales in Harris as well as surrounding counties. Our resources are very intense and they're always very, very progressive in order to help our clients collect their dollars. But again, we want to work with the property owners to help them be able to pay their property taxes.
Can you tell me how many districts in the state of Texas y'all help with this?
School districts, the number offhand is, I'd have to find out the exact number, but it is, I don't know off the top of my head to tell you the truth.
Okay, how many municipalities?
Same thing. We represent overall 2,000 government entities in the state of Texas.
Okay. Thank you.
More questions?
Stacy, Doc, whenever y'all were, looking to make a change, was there something that, I don't know if we ever got back to Mr. Bailey, was there something that, they didn't do that we were looking for, or were there some services that Linebarger has that Purdue Brandon cannot do?
You start now.
Oh, all right. So the services they offer, they're somewhat equal. we have been with Purdue Brandon since 2003. And so we felt that this would be an opportunity. We're always looking to see what consulting firms that we use, what kind of help can we find, because you're going to see tonight, one of the things in front of you is our certified debt rate, tax collection, and it's at 96%. That any dollar that we leave on the table is money that the district needs. 96% is fantastic, but it's still over $1 million that is owed to the district that we need. And so that's what spurred the conversation of, okay, well, what can we do? We're constantly trying to find ways to be more efficient, to be better stewards of the community's money. Purdue Brandon, do I have anything specific that was? No, absolutely not. They're a great company. I have nothing bad to say about them. They have given us service throughout the years, obviously because we've been with them for 27 years. But at this point, Dr. Jackson and I felt like, okay, well, let's see. I mean, we are running in a deficit. We are constantly in a deficit. We are trying as hard as we can to find any extra dollar that we can. And so it's an opportunity for the district. And that's how we approached it.
Absolutely. 6 months ago, we went through a process with this board over the course of a series of board meetings. And a very poignant question was asked. We've been doing the same thing for X amount of years as it related to our health insurance. Same company, right? Wasn't bad, wasn't good, wasn't horrible, I guess I'm saying.
Right.
We are just looking for an opportunity to earn a little bit more. And so there's nothing this company has done that we feel like we don't have a good relationship with. But we are looking at opportunities, right? And to be with a company for 27 years, that's something to brag about. That's something to be proud of. But is there another opportunity out there for us to capitalize on that? And so this is what this is about. It's just the cost of doing business.
Did we discuss with our partners, because as we continue to grow, we become more and more partners with the city, as to why they, and you brought up the insurance thing. We kind of did this back and forth about the insurance, but except it was vice versa, the board and then administration. So we're playing devil's advocate. But did we talk with the city of LaPorte as to why?
No, we didn't.
No.
Okay.
But we have talked to other school districts that have used both, right? And so, again, we're just looking at opportunities.
How long is there a contract period for this agreement?
I believe the
It's a
contract.
3-year period with 2 one-year renewals,
That's all I got.
which is a standard. It's
a standard.
in the industry.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have questions, I got a comment. So again, I don't want to be a hypocrite on this, because I know we pushed really hard to switch the insurance, and I know that the process we went through with that, it was like, we had to cut through a lot of red tape, beat our heads to the wall. It was a very difficult thing, and I don't want to say, we had a very long, outstanding relationship with a previous provider, and I was the one that championed the change, right? So I do believe in change for the sake of keeping people on their toes to bid it out. So, but on this one's a little bit different for me. Again, I don't want to overstep. I trust you guys and the diligence you put forward, but if the current provider's not given a chance if we take that at face value with the comments we heard of not getting a chance to kind of right the wrongs or to know what they did wrong. So I just, maybe it's because I have a personal relationship to some degree with Purdue Brandon and Mr. Bailey. I've seen as a member of some other organizations that work with the district, their involvement, right? And so I know they've done a great job. And so I'm not going to vote for this, but I'm also not in favor of tabling it. I'll probably be the lone one on that, and I'm fine with it. But again, I've seen Linebarger in the city. We do a lot of stuff with the city of LaPorte, so I know they're a great company as well. So please don't take it anything personal. Again, I'm a relationship guy. I run a chamber of commerce, and so I do appreciate the job that Mr. Bailey and his team have done over the last almost 3 decades, not just in the district, but of all the ancillary things they're doing in our community. So I just wish that maybe we would get a little bit more of a chance to kind of compete to keep the business. So with that being said, if we don't have any more comments, I will request board that we move item section 9 item B up in the agenda. It's one of our last items. I'd like to move it up for consideration of a motion in a second if we want to vote on that.
Item B, which is
Item B, it is
to vote on their contract.
Section 9, item B, approved delinquent tax collection contract and adopt a resolution number 2025-09 for collection of delinquent taxes.
Do we have a motion? Does anybody make a motion? No, we don't have a motion, it dies.
Meaning it dies and it's tabled? Or meaning it dies in what?
Fault it is, it dies with no motion. Bring it up at another board meeting, but you're not tabling it, it's just dead.
I also don't want to, I guess I can't talk unless that made a motion, unless I make a motion, so.
No, you can, we're still in discussion.
We're still in discussion? I also don't want to sound like a hypocrite because I beat the same drum about the other thing, but there also was an opportunity for fair and equal competition, and we discussed that when both of these vendors came in and presented to the board. Not that we need a board presentation, but both of these vendors came in and presented, one that had been here for 30-something years and one that was brand new. And in that case, the brand new person, won the bid and everything was brought forward. But to Mr. President's point, they were given a fair and equal opportunity. Mr. Bailey doesn't seem like and I'm not putting words in his mouth, but it doesn't seem like he was left with very many answers as to why we're making a switch, which I don't think is fair. So.
And I will comment, you said not that they need to make a presentation to the board, but if they're going to ask us to approve it, then we probably need a little bit more information. And I come from the government contracting world where we have to do RFPs for everything. So I guess before I could vote on something like this, I would just need to know a little more about why we're making the switch, what really sets them apart.
Because when we met with, I'm only bringing it up because we compared it a second ago, there were obvious changes of services and things that one provider could have provided and not provide. And I really didn't want to bring those into comparison, but if there's not anything we can really nail down that Purdue Brandon can't provide that, Linebarger can provide, then I don't know. And I also don't want it to come across that the board doesn't trust the district, but
Right.
This is why people elected us to sit here and work on this type of work. So I will not be making a motion.
It's good that we have that we're having this type of discussion because obviously there's a lot at stake for both firms, obviously, and then obviously us. I want to commend the district for seeking out those dollars. 96%, yes, that's a high success rate. But if you've got 4% on the table and we're in a deficit budget, we've got to turn over every leaf, and I applaud the efforts to do so.
Yep.
Obviously, I understand the relationship component of it. Business is business, and it's difficult to hear sometimes. But it is a touchy thing. But
I feel like RFQ is a pretty vital part of us.
And I really, at this point, if we are not, that would be my recommendation too.
So can we change the motion, Chris, to say we make a motion that the district go out for a request for proposals for this type of service? Or does that really not need to be done? It could be an administration change if we just let this die.
That'd be the administration.
Okay.
So no motion and let it die.
Let it die.
Hi, board. So we do not have a motion or a second, so we will essentially let it die and table this until the board gets back, or the administrator come back with another option. So again, I apologize a bit. We don't want to waste anybody's time on any of this front. Again, please don't, I don't think anybody up here has a knock on either one of these companies. And Stacy, and I can imagine how frustrating it could be on this, but
We're totally
it just, again, just this moral compass that I have, it's just, again, we try to be on the up and up on that. And so again, I think we'll trust you guys. I'm sure you'll come back with another proposal after going through. So again, we apologize for any delays for all you guys concerned. So we will now move back to item 7. Administrative reports, superintendent report.
Thank you, Mr. President. As the new school year begins, it's important to recognize all the work, the hard work and preparation that has been brought to this moment. From behind the scenes planning to personal efforts, a lot has gone into getting ready for the first day of school, which happened a week ago today. Here are just a few of the many things that helped pave the way. And this is not an exhaustive list, by the way. Classroom cleaning and organizing and painting throughout the district, curriculum planning and lesson development, scheduling and registration of students through multiple events, transitioning from Power School to Skyward, Professional development throughout summer in all subject areas, parent communication and outreach, including weekly messages from the superintendent through the e-leader and multiple messages regarding registration, cell phone policy, free meals, etc., and through Parent Square. Technology setup and updates, and including iPads for our younger students. You'll hear more about that in the coming months from our Director of Technology. Libraries being stocked with books. You'll hear more about that from our Academics Deputy Superintendent in the coming months. Summer programs and student support services, including numerous camps that kept students involved during the summer. Many great things continue to happen in LaPorte ISD because of the collective efforts of the district and campus leaders, boards of trustees, and many other partners in education. We wish to thank you for your support. LaPorte ISD is a B-rated district under the Texas Education Agency, and we're very proud of that. And not only are we proud of where we are, LaPorte for many years have been under the letter grading system, a B-rated district with a strong academic showing. Meals are free in LaPorte ISD for all students for a second straight year, both breakfast and lunch. Students, all you have to do is get in line and eat for free. The Fill the Bus campaign and Back to School Bash resulted in many families receiving school supplies and immunizations at no charge. We have 0 teacher vacancies, and you will hear from our Executive Director of HR a little later in the, we started school with 0 teacher vacancies. We're very proud of that. Very proud of that. Board, Bulldog Stadium and Legacy Complex are completed. We've had an opportunity now to spend some time in both of those areas, and we look forward to spending many, many more years in those venues. Construction projects at LaPorte High School and Lomax Junior High are well underway, and this will conclude the Superintendent's Board report, Mr. President and trustees. Are there any questions for me on that? Thank you.
Thank you, Doc. We'll turn to item B, Human Resource Update.
I'll see it.
It's not yet.
Oh, Brad.
Do I just go to present? It's like when you're the first one, you know, you have to kind of set everything up, so. Working his magic over here. Okay, there we go. Okay. Well, good evening, Board President Martin and trustees and Dr. Jackson. I'm excited to be here this evening just to share some by the numbers and some exciting things that have come from our department over the spring and summer, just some very busy months of ensuring that we have the very best people in all the places for our students. So just have a few things to share with you. So just it all kind of starts with recruiting, and we recruit in a lot of different ways. We did host 2 district job fairs this year, both in March and in June. The March one was our pretty big one, and then in June we scooped up just whatever vacancies we still had remaining. But we held those at Baker 6th grade campus. That was a great location. It was centrally located, so we had a lot of traffic, a lot of participation at both of those job fairs. And I'm happy to say that out of both of those job fairs, we hired 12 staff members. So everything from teachers to paraprofessionals to manual trades, all of our departments and campuses were represented there and had an opportunity to recruit for their departments. So great opportunity. So we definitely love doing that. We did attend 2 university and region job fairs. You may think, well, don't y'all normally attend like 40? You go all across the state of Texas, and we have previously, and we've even gone outside the state of Texas just to try to find good teachers. What we found over the past couple of years is really this is where the heart of our recruiting is. Locally at our district job fairs, we certainly do a great partnership with U of H Clear Lake, and so we hire some graduating students from that. But really, word of mouth and
this area, getting the word out that we have vacancies and people to come to LaPorte ISD. So in addition to that, it helps us be a little bit more fiscally responsible with our budget and our travel expenses, because it's expensive. A lot of these places we have to stay overnight, get meals and all those things, and there's fees associated with all of those things. Not to say that we may not do that in the future, but for right now, we're in a really good place. So just lots of opportunities there to meet and network great people. We did continue with our paraprofessional course and exam, and if you're not familiar with that, all of our paraprofessional positions for classrooms require a certificate from the state, just as a teacher does. And so some people that are interested in those roles, they may not have enough college hours to be able to get that certificate, but they still want to work, and we would still love to have them. So we do offer a course for them to come and take through our district, and then they participate in the course and they sit for an exam, and if they pass their exam, they receive a certificate from us which says that they're highly qualified under the state of Texas. Then they're able to get their para certificate from TEA once we hire them. And so for the course that we did this summer, we've hired 12 of those paras so far, and we still have several that are seeking a position. So that garnered great results for us this year, and so that's just more people in the classroom supporting our students. Then what I'm really excited about, along with our CTE program, if you recall, we had our student educator program through one of our CTE pathways, and 2 of our paraprofessionals that we've hired came from that program. So they're recent LaPorte High School graduates, and they were interested in a job, getting to work right away. They already had the credentials due to their programming, and so it was very, very smooth transition for us to hire them, and they're very excited to be giving back to the district and working with our students after participating in the class setting that they did last year. So we're really excited about that, and definitely want to continue that partnership. All right, so just some staffing updates. I'll start with teachers and professionals. I just provided you kind of a 3-year look back, including this year, on where we stand with hiring. You can see that for 25-26, we were pretty steady with what we've done, especially last year. We were almost right on the money. As Dr. Jackson shared, we are completely filled on all of our teaching vacancies prior to school starting, so we were very, very, very excited about that. That's definitely a goal of ours, and we met that. If you think about like how many teachers we hired versus how many either retired or resigned, we're at 86% retention rate. And so while I would love to see us well over 90%, we're on the way there, but we feel like that's very, very good compared to a lot of districts around us who...
Do you know what that number was last year by chance?
It was probably right about the same, just based on kind of the numbers that we had last year, because our total teaching staff hasn't fluctuated,
Real big, yeah.
We've added a few positions due to growth in special education, which I'll talk about in a minute. But it stays, it's pretty well around 85%.
I think that number's fantastic, and it's a testament to Dr. Jackson and all the work of our administration, keeping culture alive, because we all know that some teachers, if they get offered, an extra $2,000, well, they need the money and they can move, but when other people may be paying a little bit more around us, it says a lot about our culture and us as a district. It's the 86% retention rate. I'm very thrilled with that number.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Thank you. So when we break it apart from teachers and professionals, just as kind of a refresher, professional would mean anyone from like an assistant principal, district administrator, a lot of our special education positions like diagnosticians and things like that, instructional specialists, those are all considered professional positions. So we don't have any campus administrative positions open. The couple of professional vacancies that we have are in our SPED with our evaluations. And so Billy's done a great job of contracting those out for now until while we continue to recruit for district positions. So those positions are covered and those needs are being met through contracted services at this time.
And those positions were existing positions, or they were positions that we decided we want to add additional professionals?
We did not add really any teaching positions this year as far as regular education positions.
But on those three
Well, here,
professional
there's three.
vacancies?
Billy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just snuck up on you.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So we had a diagnostician and an LSSP take other opportunities closer to home.
Okay.
Sometimes that happens. But we did add one additional LSSP due to the high caseload. And right now we are contracting at one LSSP and one diagnostician. We have it out in our contract that says if we hire direct, which we'd love to, we just didn't get any applicants this year, that we can terminate that contract and do a direct hire to the staff. And we're constantly looking. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Billy. Okay, just some further staffing updates. I'd just like to provide you some information about our first-year teachers so that you kind of know, where we stand on that. As far as first-year teachers we've hired 22 this year, a little bit up from last year, but that to me was encouraging because, you probably hear, there's people just not going into teaching anymore. People are getting out of teaching. These are either college graduates who've gone through the traditional preparation, or they're a college graduate and they're going through that alternative certification program, and they've met those requirements to be able to get a job. So we're definitely going to support those people. The campuses are doing a great job to support them, and we're excited to have them join us. And then retirees, our numbers are pretty stable as far as teachers and professionals, around the same numbers from year to year of how many decide it's time for them to move on and enjoy some time with their families. Okay, as far as special education specifically, this is some information about how many teachers we've hired for our special education. That could be everything from an resource inclusion teacher, all the way to our special programs with Focus, BSP, SAIL, early childhood special education. And so you can see that we did hire 12 teachers this year. We did add 4 positions this year, like Billy said, just due to the growth of the needs of those students and requirements that we need to meet. So really, we really didn't lose any teachers because we hired 4 extra. So our retention rate on those stayed about at 85%. Again, very, very strong. Great testament to Billy and her team because they do provide a lot of support for those staff members. And then as far as special education paraprofessionals, again, this would be paras that work in everything from an inclusion aid all the way to our special program aides. And so we're right on track. So with teachers and other professionals, they're under a contract, so they're going to stay with us all year, and then, if they decide retire or whatever, we replace that. For paraprofessionals, just as other hourly employees, they're not under a contract, and so sometimes they make a decision or they get a different opportunity. Sometimes we've hired them to be a teacher, and so we're constantly looking at those vacancies and filling those positions throughout the year. And so when you just look at overall for the 25-26 school year, we've over the last year we've hired 25 paraprofessionals. So I know it's kind of hard to explain or look at, but because it is kind of a revolving number at times. But it is pretty stable with what we've had in the past. Right now we do have 5 vacancies within our special education paras that we're actively recruiting for, and we do have good applicant pool along with those para course participants. So working with principals on making sure they have applicants that they're looking at and that can work through those positions. I will say though that in the meantime, the campuses along with Billy do work to make sure there's either a sub in place, because we still have to have adults monitoring students and making sure they're having all their educational needs met. And so we do plan for that with substitutes, and then working with Billy with her staff on making sure there's coverage for those students that their needs are being met. We did add 2 sped para positions this year, just due to the caseload and students who need those services. And then 6 of those special ed vacancies were filled with our paracourse participants. So we're again, love that program. All right, as far as substitutes, just to give you some updates on where we are with substitutes, right now we have 142 teacher substitutes, and maybe a few more as we've gone through these last couple of days. We've got 41 paraprofessional substitutes, and that is our current pool for this year. We just did our last summer training today. We did 6 of those over the summer. We retrain all of our returning subs, and then we onboard new subs as well. And then we'll begin our monthly trainings in September, so that again, we're just constantly onboarding new subs. Sometimes they decide they need to get a full-time job, and so they can't sub anymore. So we do want to make sure we keep a healthy pool of substitutes. And then we'll continue our monthly recognitions for teacher and manual trade subs to recognize the hard work that they do and what they add. And the picture that's up here is one of our subs that was with us, and she happened to be at LaPorte Elementary that day that we recognized her. And I point her out because we just recently hired her to be a paraprofessional. And so we were happy about that she was able to get in, get some experience, and feel confident in the different roles that she could participate in, and she's now joining us as a para, so we're excited about that. And that's one of the great things about people starting out as subs. Just some other recognitions I want to make sure you know that we do, and you've probably seen a lot of these on social media and other places, but one of the ones that we that we've been doing for several years are the LP Heroes. And so every month we have a recognition form that goes out, and all staff members can nominate someone, a colleague, that they feel is going over and above, really exemplifying the LaPorte way, and just being a role model for those around them. And we have all walks of our employees that get nominated, and we choose a certified professional teacher or another professional, and then we also choose a manual trades or hourly employee. And so those are just a couple of pictures at the bottom of some people that were recognized last year. We love our Gulf Coast Educators Federal Credit Union. It's like 12 things in that name. They are our sponsors for LP Heroes. They donate 2 $100 gift cards every month. And they go with us. Marissa from the bank, she goes with us every month to recognize these employees and just really celebrate them. And they get to keep their traveling bulldog all month. And we usually have tears every time we go. So it's the best day of the month for us to be able to reward. And we always share what their colleagues said about them because that really means a lot to people. We're going to continue with our campus staff attendance challenge this year. We started that last year. We do a monthly challenge to just kind of keep the competition going among our principals. They can be pretty competitive, but that's just a picture of Lomax Junior High. They had won a couple of times, and they got a banner along. And we provide some incentives and rewards for them every month. Just another way to just kind of spotlight and keep attendance at the forefront, because if our teachers are here and our paraprofessionals are here and our office staff is here, the wheels are rolling and the kids are learning. And so just anything we can do to help promote that, we love. And then finally, one thing that we started last year, an initiative, was our student to staff program. And so that is something that was very, very well received. Right now, I will tell you, we have over 200 staff members who work for us that are LaPorte graduates. And so we've collected lots of data on them. We've asked them to, tell us why do you work in LaPorte ISD? Why do you choose to give back to the community? And so while we value every employee, not all of us are LaPorte graduates, but there's something special about growing up here and being a student here, graduating from here, and then giving back to the district that helped raise you. And so we're continuing that this year. We've got lots more posters to make so that people can display those in their classrooms and their workspace. So just one of the ways that we're recognizing our staff. Employee health and wellness is something that we're really focusing on this year. If you recall, we had our Superintendent Legacy Walk back in May when it was really hot, and we all sweated out a lot of calories that day. But we had a great time. Obviously, the new stadium was a great venue to have that. We did have students and staff walking in that. We had, you can see that picture down below, but we had probably about 100, 150 staff members that participated in our walk. Just an opportunity to get out, fellowship together, spend time together, enjoy the facilities, and also get a little exercise. And I think Coach Mack, didn't you walk like 85 laps or something like that? he was out there trucking it
On his motorcycle.
But that was a great event, and so we're looking for some fall opportunities that we can do again. Maybe when it gets a little cooler, we can have a turkey trot, or something to where we can just bring everybody together and just again add to that positive culture and employee wellness. And then finally, just some preventative care steps that we're looking at. Maybe perhaps working with the city, with the gym, and having some discounted memberships. I know that's kind of in the works right now. And so just anything that we can do to help our employees be well, feel good, maintain their health so that they can come to work every day and be the best that they can be for our students.
I'm really glad to see that. Dr. Jackson knows, because I've talked about it quite a bit. But, some of those health initiatives and preventative, health issues are great things to address. And I don't know if HPS or someone, or maybe TRS Active Care, has some sort of incentive that says they'll contribute $10 a month to your gym membership or whatever it is. But some insurance companies do, some insurance companies don't. That may be something worth us investigating to see.
Sure.
As well, because teacher health is very important. If they're sick, they're not there.
Stress relief.
That
Yes.
too.
Yes.
I mean, mental health is equally as important.
I was going to say, I have to be coerced into doing some of the things that we should be doing naturally. So having a group activity that kind of motivates me to do it, and then I feel better afterwards. So hopefully you can do
Absolutely.
stuff like that.
Absolutely. And for a lot of our teachers that are in the classroom, it's hard for them to be out and go make a doctor's appointment. And so sometimes we put that off. And, if we have those opportunities to make it easier and more accessible, then all the better. And then just lastly for me, everything that I've just talked about, it doesn't mean anything if we're not really working to retain our employees. I just want to say our principals and our administrators have done an excellent job this season on interviewing, spending time looking through applications, calling references, and then our department onboarding, and it takes a lot of work, and it's a lot of effort. So we want to hold on to these people that we've worked so hard to get. And the very first thing that will allow us to do that is our positive culture. You spoke about that a few minutes ago. That's really all it boils down to is our positive culture. But a couple of other things that help is, we've embarked on the teacher incentive allotment, and so we feel like that's helped us hold on to some of our teachers who were in our first cohort. They know that, now there's a possibility that they could get a payout, and they have to be here to get that. So we feel like in adding more teachers into that second cohort this year will really just further bolster that. And then lastly, but certainly not least, is just you as our board, just the generous approval of salary increases to our supplements, and the starting teacher pay of $63,000. That has just been tremendous. So just from my department, on behalf of us, we thank you for that, because we have, our employees have to live also, and so this just matters. It really does matter. So all of those things just really help to hold on to our people and make sure that LaPorte stays strong. So that's all I have for you. If you have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer.
More of a comment. I guess I'm chatty tonight. Not that it's any different from any other night, but I do want to say I have heard from people who were applying for jobs this year and who needed some assistance with human resourcing, and I just got glowing remarks from them. I mean, the HR team was responsive. They helped me resolve my problem quickly, and things like that. And not that we haven't seen that in the past, but it was certainly nice to hear the good things when you're not hearing it. And when you go out to a restaurant, you don't usually leave a review when it's good. but you certainly leave on when it's bad. And for people to go out of their way to say that the HR team was doing a good job means that y'all had to go above and beyond, and so we certainly appreciate
Thank you. I appreciate that. And our team is excellent. We have some new staff members on our team, and so they're learning, and we're all working together to make sure that our processes are good. But customer service is the most important thing to me as their leader, and if we can do that, then we can make sure we're helpful and being responsive, like you said. I do want to just introduce Miss Meyer, Renee Meyer, our new director. She joined us in July. If you've not had a chance to meet her, she's just jumped in and helped finish hiring and learning and doing all the things. So we're really happy to have her on board in our department. So, any other questions or?
I'll just I have a comment as well. So like Mason, I've gotten comments. It's funny, for the first time ever, people have been complimenting us on your HR hires. So Renee and your team, and you guys have done a phenomenal job. And so I've only been on board maybe 4 or 5 years, but this is the first time I think that we've ever had it where you guys were fully staffed in a year. And being the largest employer in the city of LaPorte, which I don't know if everybody realizes, that's a very big deal, and all the things that can happen with employees, right? And so thank you guys. And I know it's not just the beginning of the year, but all year round. So thank y'all for the job you're doing.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And thank you all for your support ongoing. We feel it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thought you did good too, Angie. We're not. You think that we were just forgetting about it, so it's all great now. But just want you to feel left out.
Thank you, Paul. We'll move to the, thank you, Jackson, 2025 accountability update.
Good evening. President Martin, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Dr. Jackson, thank you for letting me talk a little bit about 2025 accountability. Super excited to share some great news with everyone. Please note that we're also going to talk about 2024 just a little bit, because if you recall, this is the first time that we've had official accountability results to brag about in 10 years? No,
3 years. 3 years.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
We're gonna get right to it. Just a quick reminder, since 2022 was the last time we had official accountability results that we could brag about publicly. Since then, we've had a lot of changes, as we've talked about. We've had changes to the way our weighted performance is. It used to be all of the campuses weighted equally. Now the campuses are calculated based on their enrollment, and so there's a weighting to that. We've increased the cut points for CCMR calculations, and they've gone up significantly from, it used to be 60 raw score would equal an A, now it's 88 or above equals an A, so a significant increase in CCMR. And then we've also, as we've mentioned, STAR 2.0 has been a much more rigorous online testing that we've been working on the last few years. So all of those changes have come to fruition, and now we're here to talk about the great things that we're doing in LaPorte as a result. So the 2024-2025 accountability rating for LaPorte ISD, we are a B. We are very excited about that designation. We are ranked number 17 in the region out of 47 school districts. I think that's really important to note, that we are not at all. We are very proud of where we are with our peers. We certainly recognize that we aren't in the top 5 yet, but we will be very, very soon. So we are very excited about that. We are outranking most of our neighbors to the north, to the south, to the east, to the west. And I want to also make mention that there are no D or F campuses in LaPorte ISD. And sometimes a B accountability rating can mask the fact that there are campuses that are not performing well. And I'm happy to report that that is not the case here in LaPorte ISD. Okay. All right, so I just want to quickly go through what our campuses look like. LaPorte High School, 40% of our district accountability is attributed to the success of LaPorte High School, and they are rated a B this year. We're very proud of their work there. The other secondary campuses make up in total almost 32% of our district accountability, and so between all these secondary campuses, this is nearly 80% of our accountability. So Lomax Junior High is a B at 84 this year, very proud of that. LaPorte Junior High School at a 75 a C, Baker 6th grade campus 76 a C, and the Academy is 75 a C. So all of these campuses together make up almost 32% of our district accountability. Our elementary campuses, I'm very excited to announce that we have 3A campuses in LaPorte ISD, Lomax Elementary at 91, Rizzuto Elementary at 91, and College Park Elementary at 91. Very excited and very proud of the work that those campuses are doing. LaPorte Elementary is a B at 87, Heritage Elementary a B at 84, Jenny Reed is a B at 80, and Bayshore Elementary is a C at 76. So those campuses together make up the remaining accountability. Each of these campuses weight about 6% of our district accountability. I also want to celebrate that we have many distinctions that I want to showcase for you today. And our distinctions are earned based on our performance in comparison to our like campuses. So every campus has its comparison schools, and so this is how we perform in comparison to our peers. So we have 6 elementaries and 1 junior high school that have earned distinction designations. So we have 2 distinctions in academic achievement in reading and language arts in their comparison group, and that goes to College Park and LaPorte Elementary. Very proud of them. In science, academic achievement, we have 5 campuses, Bayshore, College Park, Jenny Reed, Lomax, and Rizzuto, earning a distinction for science. Excellent work there. We have a top 25% for academic growth, again, in comparison to their like peers. We have 4 campuses earning in the top 25% for growth, College Park, LaPorte Elementary, Lomax, and Rizzuto. Closing the gaps, meaning those groups of students who are typically underperforming, closing those gaps toward all students, College Park, Lomax, and Lomax Junior High earning a distinction for being in the top 25% of their comparison groups. And then lastly, for post-secondary readiness, meaning the number of students that earn a meets or masters or higher on their assessment, which is towards college readiness, we have 5 campuses as well. College Park, Jenny Reed, LaPorte Elementary, Lomax, and Rizzuto. Very proud of the work that those campuses are doing and how our students are achieving on those campuses. Much, much to be proud of. I also want to mention that the state, in all of its wisdom, has decided that they would also provide us with our 2024 accountability. You know, 2 is better than 1. So we have 2024 accountability rating, and again, we are a B. And I think you were provided with all those numbers earlier. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention that we have them both now. They are official, and they are about that we can brag about them. It was a 2-for-1 special, indeed. And they're changing it again, yes. Hopefully. Of course. Hopefully. We'll see. Okay. So lots and lots of things to celebrate. We recognize, though, that we are not yet in the championship round. We are not number 1 in this region, and until we are not going to rest. We have lots of things that we have planned to ensure that we move our campuses a full letter grade. Dr. Jackson has given us all that directive and that expectation, and I feel very confident that we have everything in place that we need to get there. Our focus this year on all of our campuses is on quality first-time instruction, making sure that we are really working hard in those PLCs to ensure we are carefully planning, we are looking at data to inform our decisions, and we're making sure that we have careful interventions in place to help develop those teachers and the instruction that happens in the first time in every classroom. Making sure that we have focused interventions to ensure that all students meet their targets and all students meet growth. So that we meet the needs of all students. And then lastly, just ensuring that we are leveraging the high quality instructional materials and making sure that the things that we provide students, the materials that we ask students to learn from are at grade level and are rigorous to ensure that learning is happening. So that is our focus for 2026 in a nutshell. Certainly we have lots of things to celebrate in terms of individual performance in the different content areas. We are just performing very well as the accountability ratings show. And we are going to leave a legacy for 2026. Any questions?
Yes, ma'am. On the intervention and in tracking that, how are we tracking accountability in that category? How are we categorizing who needs intervention? What's our metric in that?
So we have several progress monitoring tools that we have in place for the different content areas. We have CBAs, which are our curriculum-based assessments. So every unit, every week, formative assessments in those content areas. We track students' growth towards mastery using those tools. We have our unit assessments, our CBAs. We also have our MAP assessment, which helps us beginning, middle, and end of the year track student growth towards nationally normed standards in terms of where they should be with skill development at their grade level with their peers nationally. And so to your question, there are lots of tools that we have that principals use then to determine on a regular basis, weekly, bi-weekly, what students need different interventions and where those interventions are going to take place.
Okay, so the follow-up to that is there any kind of cutting-edge technology or system out there that if we can wave our magic wand that we could really use? Is there something out there that we need to look at, evaluate, discuss?
I can get back to you on that. I think that we have, I will say this, and you're going to say something, go ahead. I don't know. We have all the tools. We have great teachers in the classrooms. We have principals who are looking at all the data. Now the messaging is just really being intentionally monitoring of what's happening and ensuring that time doesn't get away from us, right? I think that's some of the more leveraging work that we can do is just ensuring that each week we're attending to where are kids and how are we pulling them and what that looks like. We are implementing a new system in the junior highs to help pull groups of students. To answer your question, we're moving to RTI Scheduler. That is going to be kind of a, for lack of a better term, mini master scheduler to help us pull intervention groups for our campuses. We're excited about how that's going to work. The greatest challenge of a great intervention at a secondary campus is just the magnitude of moving students around to different groups based on need. And so that we're excited about that software. We're hoping that that's going to really help us.
I ask those questions because, I want to issue a charge and keep it in the forefront of everybody's mind is that dream big, whatever it is, and let us have those discussions and try to shake the tree and find the money for it. I just want to make sure that we have every resource that our teachers need and that we can close the gaps further and get to where we want to go. So just continue to push the envelope in every way, especially we'll find it.
Okay, 5 or 6 years ago, we had somebody who I would say was a data genius, and he came and presented to us. Can somebody nod their head so I don't? I'm not going crazy.
That was Justin.
And showed us how they track and how that maybe we need, because we have so many new board members, maybe we need to have that presentation again, just because I thought it was very beneficial. And it would answer Danny's question. Now, is there something better out there? I don't know. Are we still using that method? I'm not sure, but I found it very enlightening that night when he came and presented to us as to how it helps the principal and, the lead teacher of science look at this thing and they're like, we need to work on these teaks with these kids with that. I mean, it was just down to a science.
Yes. We do have a lot of those tools, and Justin Bedford is here. He's the data genius. Stand up, Justin, say see you face.
Justin, I'm sure you have a better title than that, but that's what came to my mind.
He's our data coordinator.
Whatever you want to call
He is our data czar.
He has created a plethora of tools for our principals that get and drill down to that TEKS level. So every time there is an assessment that our teachers deliver, he is there to pull it by standard, pull it by teacher, by section even, so that we can look at anomalies based on, oh my gosh, what's happening in fourth period? Why are, what's really trying to help make sure that then those teachers can really figure out what the intervention needs to be next. So we have a lot of those tools. We're always trying to figure out what else do we need or how can we do it better. And certainly we can bring him up here to at another time to give you more of an overview of what those things look like and what we do.
Well, I just don't want the opportunity to be lost on what the district has accomplished the last couple of years. Obviously, there's been so much turmoil and uncertainty, and it's like hitting a moving target. And I think, for us to stabilize in that climate, I think is a testament to obviously what's going on, the plan y'all put forth, and the execution in the classroom level. That's huge, and it's something everybody should be very, very proud of. I know that we still have bigger ambitions, and I have no doubt that we will meet those. I want to acknowledge the effort that it took just to do what has been done. It's just the last couple of years have just been crazy. And I know I'm preaching the choir here, but
Yes.
anyway, just want to commend everybody in the classroom and involved with curriculum that have really gone in there and helped elevate our kids and their performance. So kudos to everybody there.
And I just want to say the campuses lead the mission. So we are here to support the campuses. They have worked very, very hard. We have great teams in place on every campus. They are in it to win it. And I know that, they were already calling before the scores even came out, like with plans and ideas and suggestions and recommendations. And so we are all aligned in the same goal, and we will do whatever we can to continue to move the needle. So.
Well, I think to Danny's point, it's just that this board is open to any expenditure. Don't think, we don't have the money for that, I'm not even gonna ask for it.
Yes, ma'am.
And there may be an area where we have to say no, but it's, we want to have the discussion.
You're good.
We want to have the discussion.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Great. That's
Stacey's
great.
like, hold on.
So I did have one more question, because the other piece of that, we're talking about the student progress and the things that our teachers are implementing. For the students who are pulled for intervention, you said this just kind of looks at the data and says, hey, we need to pull these students, correct? So is there some sort of, we have the parent-teacher conferences, obviously, but is there any kind of notification or anything like to get support from parents in that regard of, hey, just wanted to let you know, we did, some intervention on this, just something we're going to continue to watch, and then maybe if the parents are able to help support in continued conversations, working one-on-one, whatever, is there any way we're communicating that so that they can be
So the encouragement is always that teachers communicate often about student progress with our students. We do have some expectations about student success, and there are some standards. If students are not successful, that communication go home to families so that they're aware of any concerns that we might have about students. If students are not successful on a STAR exam, there are some very formal procedures that we're required to put into place, and so we expect notification to families regarding that and progress reports to go home about that on an intermittent basis. And so I'm really looking forward to Schoology being a place where more of that communication can happen, because it will open, once we really learn how to use the software and get better at it, it's really going to open, I think, that door for parent transparency of what's happening. We'll be able to see more of the assignments, more of the schedules, more of the things that are happening through the Schoology platform, and so I think that will help with that communication as well.
And I have one more question.
Yes.
Okay. Are the students who are being pulled for intervention, I know they'll be based off of the testing and stuff, but are we expecting it to be more of the previously identified students who have needed the same resources or assistance, or will it be a collective of all students as the testing goes on? Hey, we noticed a slip in this. It could be anybody that could participate in those groups.
So we know that we know that 80% of our students will be successful with curriculum and instruction in the first time or in Tier 1. We know that 20% of our students will always need additional support, whether it's Tier 2, intermittent pullouts based on whatever we're learning, or if it's just long-term supports that they need in the Tier 3. We know that there are going to be some students who, on the off chance that they don't get, polynomials, that they're going to need some extra support. So our philosophy is, and the belief is, that Tier 2 interventions, which should be fluid and short-term based on need. The Tier 3 interventions that I think you're referring to are those longer-term. We recognize that students just have a struggle with reading, or students just have a struggle with math, or students just whatever their deficit, that we recognize that they just need longer-term support to be able to close those gaps for them to learn the content in the grade level.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I had a comment and a comment question. So to Danny's point about extra resources, Dr. Jackson and I have had a conversation, so I want to speak this into existence, I guess. I know that our district can't, we have to make very difficult financial decisions, right? And so you guys do a phenomenal job with the money that we have, and we're not done any favors by the state, we all know that. But what makes LaPorte unique are our the companies and the people, the families that have so generous. And so we had a report tonight about all the money we raised for the stadium in a very short amount of time, a substantial amount of money, and that's great for all the marketing and stuff. I would be willing to bet anything I will ever own that if we had the opportunity to present these companies with, say, to help hire additional tutors, interventionists, whatever it is, like, I'm not another word, but like additional support staff. I know that technology and systems are the great, but I will put my money every day on extra people, like with spending quality time with these kids in front of them. So we've had several campuses and CPAC meetings talk about like, how did you guys make this increase? And a lot of times it's, well, we had tutors and the people that are spending the time with the kids. And I know that we had to cut that back this year. Again, not on our own accord, but if we can get a number of like what, again, how big this number is, like what is the number that we had to cut out based on last year's budget on to be able to put towards tutors, interventionists, specialists, whatever it is we're doing. And I would like to take that to the community. Like I would be willing, we'll make this a board project. Like we will go out and I promise you, we can't get all of it. We'll get a substantial amount to go back into those schools. And again, I know it's not about throwing money all the time, but
it's the people that count.
Right, and I feel I'm overly confident that we can get that done.
Some people not volunteer. Maybe they, maybe they just don't know there's a need.
They don't know the need, and we need
But
to
I
hear
pitched that idea what you and I have talked about with Julie, and we agree. So I think we just need to give you a hard number that you're asking for.
And the other thing,
And understanding that those are what we would consider maybe grant-funded positions, that and eventually when the grant stops, if it ever does, that,
Right, they're not forever.
they're not forever jobs, and we can't promise you a job forever. This is coming from community grants. And we can't pick up a bunch of new roles.
We'll get you a hard number for that.
the other with the comment question, I guess this is more directed to Dr. Jackson and probably even Adam. So one of my frustrations with school life in general is that all our data is lagging for, and this is more current, right? But like I got 2 emails this week from people sending me the World News report about high school rankings, right? And so, but the problem with this ranking is that it's from 2023-24, right? But if these guys, one of these people, I was looking to move back to, and that'd probably screw me, like, I moved back to LaPorte, but you guys are ranked number 142 out of 219, right? And that doesn't represent the work that you guys are telling us tonight and the strides we've made. And so my question to Dr. Jackson and Adam, what can we do to like push this? If they're going to go to like these national reports and they see like, LaPorte is in the bottom 35th, right, and then we know that that's a lagging number, and we've made massive improvement since then. What do we do to be proactive to get the word out? Obviously, we got new top-notch like facilities, things like that. But what are we doing to like promote like the academic side of LaPorte ISD?
We have absolutely taken advantage of all of our free opportunities on social media. If you go to social media, it is plastered all over. Our campuses are doing it. The district does it, but our campuses are each sharing their distinctions and all of the wonderful things that they're doing. But over the last 2 weeks, there's just been this media campaign, this media blitz. I happen to speak for the district, and so today at 2 o'clock, we were on Fox 26 News talking about LaPorte ISD. Last week, it was Channel 39, I think it was, on the news talking about LaPorte ISD. So we're doing those things. I think our principals have, each of them have a designated media specialist on campus, somebody on campus that is responsible for that. But we're trying our absolute best to take advantage of all of those opportunities. We have a TikTok page, we have an Instagram page, we have a Facebook page, we have a LinkedIn page, and so we're utilizing that. And of course, we have our website. And all of them are saying those things in some iteration of how well we are doing, how awesome we are. And we put kids' faces in front of those letter grades, because it's really not the letter grade that counts. It's what are we doing with the kids that represent that. And so we'll continue to work on that. But we're taking advantage of all of those opportunities. When I first got here, Deanne, you'll remember, I rented one of those signs on 225. I said, I need folks to know that LaPorte is here, and we are an open enrollment priority school district that would love to have young families move here and become a part of that. So slowly but surely, it's trickling in, Mr. President, but it takes all of us doing it, and we're doing that. And I would encourage every parent that hears us tonight to help us by bragging about our school district as well. The more we do that, the better off we're going to be.
I thought it's kind of a loaded question. I knew those things. I just wanted to just say it publicly.
Okay.
So, for those of the naysayers, like, friends from other districts down the street that like the badmouth report, I love that you are the biggest advocate and champion. I love you. Thank you for sharing that.
Doing that.
I know y'all doing a phenomenal job, and it's obviously it's paying off with our retention rates and things like that. So, thank you.
We're
Top
clear to say, and several folks are now used to hearing me say this, there is a line from here to El Paso of people that are moving to LaPorte and enrolling their students. All right, and so we want to make sure that that is part of our slogan to some degree. All right.
Board, any more questions, comments? Thank you, Ms. Abrams.
Well, I just want to thank you all
Thank
for your
you.
support.
Thank you,
Thank you for all your trust, and we're going to continue to meet your expectations. We're looking forward to next year.
Yep.
Thank you.
Last but not least, we'll turn to item D, bond safety and security updates. Dr. Martinez.
They're going to tag team it since they're talking finance. They're talking finance and unless Bobby changed overnight.
All right. Good evening, Board and Dr. Jackson.
Evening.
Dr. Martinez and I are going to do a co-presentation for y'all tonight about a bond financial update. So I'm going to talk the finance side, and then Dr. Martinez will fill you in on what we've spent the funds on so far. So we'll begin with Prop A, our maintenance and operations. Our original budget was $37.5 million so far. Again, this is 2 years in, it's 23-24, so we've spent 2 fiscal years so far. Our expenditures were $8.1 million, and therefore we have $29.4 million left, which is a 22% of our budget that has been spent.
So some of the examples of projects out of this fund would be painting. You've seen painting at several of our campuses.
Yes.
I believe at this point virtually all of our campuses have been touched with some sort of painting efforts. Most recent being Lomax Junior High and DeWalt. If you've been to those 2 campuses, you've seen the interior. They look fantastic.
They look fantastic.
So really thankful for that work there. Also, HVAC has been an ongoing commitment for the use of those funds, and so we've installed several new chillers and boilers, examples being Heritage, a chiller at College Park, boiler at LXJ, another chiller at LPJ, and one of the most recent chillers, 3 at Rizzuto Elementary that are scheduled to go in this fall. And so that's going to be an ongoing commitment. Again, for use of these funds is to bring our HVAC systems, just have that recurring cycle where you're having to constantly commit, to those projects. But painting and just some other projects across the district from the maintenance budget.
Then we'll move on to transportation. So our budget was $7.7 million. Our expenditures so far have been $3 million. Therefore, we have $4.7 left, and that's 39% of our budget that's been spent.
Okay, and again, transportation's easy. You see the big yellow buses driving around, so we've got several new of those in the district. In 2023, we purchased 5 new buses for special education, another 3 for general ed. All those have enhanced security features, enhanced cameras, and so that's definitely assists with student safety. And then in this past year, we had 20 buses. And of the 20, we've received 9. It does take some time to receive those once they've been ordered. But of those 20, we have 9, and they're already on the road, ready to go. We're able to prioritize trips, right, based on newer buses, and so really excited about all the new fleet that we have.
Are we getting rid of some old buses? I noticed, like by the FFA barn on that side, there's a bunch of them parked on that road. What are those over there for?
We had a conversation about that today.
Good.
Yes, sir. So the 20 buses that we are working on receiving, those will all be destroyed. And so those are part of the grant that we received from TCEQ. And so those have to have basically permanent destruction and can no longer be used in North America. So we have to cut frame rails, drill holes in engine blocks, and then decide what to do with those afterwards. We can scrap them, yes, and take whatever we can get for whatever they're worth. But yeah, if you need any anger management, you want to really
maybe that could be one of our health and wellness events.
Yes. We
set it up, right?
We have power
That's your
tools, and we will be happy to help you relieve some pent-up energy.
Yeah, that's
so.
pretty intense.
But yes, all of those that you see parked by the ag barn or just parked throughout the lot, 20 of those that are, your model 2007 or older are part of that grant will be destroyed.
So if they get vandalized, we're in good shape. I mean, that's.
So one of the neat things that we're able to do with some of our older buses, and so you may have seen some of our neighbors, unfortunately, they've had some incidents related to buses and students, and so we're able to work with our city management and the emergency management to run some trainings should we ever have events, any type of events, so that they can be prepared for those types of things. And so it's one of the conversations that Alyssa and I had today. Was about working with the city of LaPorte to use some of our older fleet to be able to simulate some of those trainings, so that they would be prepared, we're prepared, and we have good systems in place if we ever have an event.
While you're in communication with LaPorte PD and the city of LaPorte, it may be worth. I know this TxDOT or DPS state troopers do a program, where they're really harping in on other vehicles stopping where buses are stopping. Talking to bus drivers, they always say that's a problem, and it is. Maybe a partnership with LaPorte Police Department on following a bus around or whatever it is to really promote, or even some of our own advertisements and PR to show the importance of stopping when that bus is stopped with the red lights on.
When to stop. Sure.
Yeah, just some education, because
run past
do you stop on Sins or do you stop on Spencer? I mean, people don't know which roads they can and can't drive on when that bus has red lights.
People do it all the time.
Okay. Still in Prop A, we have our fine arts and theater renovations. So the budget was, for both of those projects together, was $5.4 million. So far we have $300,000 that we've spent, and the remaining 5.1, so 1% of budget spent, but Dr. Martinez is going to talk about all the wonderful things that we're going to have to spend some money.
So this is an exciting project, and is just really thrilled to be a part of it. I like the picture, the musical, because we know we kind of set our timeline for construction based on all the fantastic things that are going to happen with the musical. But at our most recent board meeting, you guys approved for the sound, and so we're getting ready to get that rolling, to have sound installed, a full overhaul of our sound system there. We've already done some painting of the foyer area, and so we've got the grid painted, we've got the color painted on the walls, and we've got some exciting things happening just in that front space. And then we're looking at additional renovations with lighting, again, full overhaul of our lighting systems. Actually got a quote today. There's some advantages to securing some of that early, even though we may not go into the full renovation with the lighting just because of the musical timeline. But if we can get our supplies in now, and we can, they can assist us with storage at no cost, then we can take advantage of possibly no inflation later down the road with ordering some of that stuff that we know that we need. So we're really excited about that. And then the classrooms, we're almost complete with our theater classrooms. We did painting, we've got carpet replacement, and so they look great. I stopped by there today. We're almost complete. And one of the things that we do, really proud of our maintenance team, just kind of looking up at these LED lights, right? So when we go in and paint, or we have a project that we're working on, we'll go ahead, our own people will replace the lighting to update with LED lights. And so just like you're looking at right here, in those Cedar classrooms, they're also going to have the updated LED lights in there. And again, they're working on that today. They're almost complete. It looks fantastic. So really excited about our fine arts programs in specifically the theater renovation.
And then one other thing on the quote that he was speaking of today, one of the reasons too we want to go ahead, because they're going to give us a discount. We can go ahead and go forward with the quote, then it saves us more money to begin with. So that's always what we're looking for. Prop A, Lomax Junior High renovation. So the budget $15.3 million, expenditure so far is $6.5, remaining of $8.8. So we have spent 42% of the budget so far on that project.
Yeah, this is a recent picture of Lomax Junior High Gym. If you haven't been out there, I mean, it's definitely moving quickly. Really thankful to Principal Rose and her team. She's been, phenomenal to work with. From our construction crews, they just sing her praises, and the team that's been very receptive to the changes out there. But we're about 95% complete with our CMU block for the renovation in the new gym. Exterior face brick is about 40% complete. You're going to see basketball goals start going up. Some of the curtain walls are ongoing. We're scheduled to be complete by December 1st, but we're hoping to be complete sooner than that. So, a few weather delays over the summer, but we feel like we're on a good track, and it's looking great out there. Hope to have some tours out there soon where people can actually see the space and see how far it's come.
Talk about the best kept secret in Lomax area. If you pass by that campus, you haven't a clue that that's behind there, right? You know, we almost need a big sign that says, "Hey, behind here," you know. But I'm very proud of the work that happens. I sometimes just drive out there even on the weekends and just sit and watch them kind of, how it's coming up. So very proud of that facility.
So LaPorte High School renovation, that just began. Our budget of 29.9, we've spent 2.5 so far, so remaining 27.4, so 8% of our budget. That will be spent all this year as they complete the project.
All right. So, again, thankful to Dr. Griffin and his team. They've been met with a lot of challenges over the summer and planning, anticipation for that start of the school year. How are we going to get all these kids with only designated entry and exits? And so they've done a great job reimagining what that can look like, and very appreciative of their efforts. Don't let Dr. Griffin fool you. His principal office in that portable building, it is pretty nice. So don't let him give you a sob story.
It is very nice. It's very nice. He's not going to want to go back inside.
His coffee maker could make coffee for the entire school. It was ginormous.
But really, again, thankful to the team out there. So we are complete with GMP 1. We did get substantial completion of that on August 15th. And so we've got, a lot of the GMP 1 was the demolition, the work on the detention. That's still where we are now. Again, walking that space today, kind of looking out. A lot of work in that detention area. But had a great conversation with our contractor, our PM out there today. Because we were able to get a LOI for GMP 2 while we were already there on site, we got a lot of work. We got ahead of schedule, and so we're about 15 days ahead of schedule. I don't think Dr. Griffin even knows that yet, and so that was a date that they were comfortable with me sharing publicly. But we are ahead of schedule, and so we are looking at hopefully having access to that courtyard by mid-November. And so that would be, turfed, ready, and that would be a usable space where students could potentially cross across the courtyard to get from building to building instead of having to go around that horseshoe interior. So very excited about that. And then you'll start to see the exciting stuff happen, the steel structures, just more of the building envelope come together at the high school. But very, moving along nicely, and thankful to again, everyone on that project.
What's the planned total completion date?
So I don't have the completion date, but we're looking around this time next year. I mean, we're really looking at mid-August, mid to late August for completion.
All right, so still in Prop A, safety and security, budget of $5 million. We've spent $300,000, so remaining 7% budget spent. We'll say on that, reason we haven't spent as much budget because we had a grant that helped take care of a lot. And we were also spending down our 2014 bond, our safety and security piece of that.
Use that.
So you always spend the older one before you get to the newer ones. So.
Yeah, and just want to thank you, Board, for prioritizing, and Superintendent Jackson for, the safety and security. There's plenty of funds there. We've been able to do a lot on the perimeter fencing, which you've seen at all of our spaces. Also the security film, silent panic systems, the controlled access to the campuses and panic buttons. Those are just a few of the items that we feel like we've gotten accomplished in the district, but there's still much left to do with safety and security, but those are some of the priorities that the district has been able to get accomplished over the past couple of years.
I would just like to recognize that LaPorte was one of the leaders in the getting the buttons.
Yes.
I am
absolutely.
seeing
Yes.
social media posts from friends who live all across the country who are saying, wouldn't it be great if we had this?
Yeah.
Isn't it, isn't this such a great idea? And I get to say, we have it. And how well it's done.
2 years,
So
sure.
I just have to say thank you again for that idea and for putting that through. We are definitely leaders in that. And
Yeah, that's amazing. And there are a lot of districts that reach out and they want to know our systems and they want to, they're looking at implementing those systems in their districts. And so to be able to say, sure, come on over, let's talk. And so even though it may not be benefiting our district, it's keeping kids safe in another district. And so we're all about supporting and being a friend to those districts that want that assistance.
That's right.
Dr. Martinez, in the past, I know that it was kind of like, security wasn't uniform. Like, what I mean is like entry points, code, cameras that were different in certain locations. Some had fences, some had bulletproof glass. Are they all now uniform? Is that my understanding?
We've worked on that over the last couple of years because it's been brought up before. And Dr. Bromley and I worked on trying to do that. And I know some elementaries did not have the same access entryways. And so we have worked on that. I won't say on record that we're 100% done, but I know for a fact that we have done that. So I'm answering that.
We'll definitely get an update on where we are and share that with you guys.
Yeah.
But I know that's, again, been a huge priority for the district.
I feel like the entry point, the internal, I don't know what to call them, but the little keypad deal where you buzz in, I think that has all been uniform.
Yeah,
But I'm more curious, like we talked about, there was a proposal.
Vestibules.
Yeah, but like having the fence, I'm looking at the fence, and that's kind of what brought this to mind,
Sure.
is that at one point, some campuses were going to get like a bulletproof film on the glass. And I think that we talked about making it all uniform.
Everywhere was, but wasn't it on back order or something? Because everybody was
That was an issue that's been a while now.
You had to have one or the other.
Right.
At everything.
Right.
You had either had a non-scalable fence or the film on the glass. And yes, there was an issue at one point, I want to say, in terms of supply, because everybody was trying to do the same thing.
And it all depends on how the campus is built too. So when you have, gates, guards like this, you absolutely need to put that up. But I'm going to let Mr. Wycliffe kind of help us with some of that.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, guys. Yes, sir. The tempered glass has been installed in all the buildings, 100%. And so that was part of the Cycle 1 grant that was 2 years ago. And so we have actually, we're up to standard on all campuses. And we're able to pass all our ratings with TEA as well. So they did our audit last year, and we are 100% compliant.
I was going to say, we were the first to
get it.
get it, but I just didn't know if it was what he was answering.
No, and again, I'm not minimizing that at all. That's a phenomenal accomplishment. I still feel that we are small enough to, if we have 12 total campuses, that one elementary over another shouldn't have a gate, a fence. And whether you make the case that that's better or worse, I don't know. But I don't know why, as a parent, why would one school have one thing over another? And I would, Dr. Bromley, it's been a while since we talked about this.
It's been a while since we've talked.
But I thought the conversation at the time, what we decided as a board, we wanted them to be uniform. And so I know I'm kind of throwing this at you right now, but I would just like in a future meeting to talk about
an update on it. Yeah.
If they're not uniform, is there something we have planned in action to bring that up to?
Yeah. So the good news is we've got some budget there that
we can do
our priorities to get them uniformed.
Where is this a picture?
Do that. That's
I think that's LPE.
Yes.
We'll get the board an update on that.
Perfect.
Okay? Thank you. Thank you, Terrain.
So integrated technology, our budget was 23.1, expenditure is 7.8. We have a remaining 15.3 million, so we've spent 34% of our budget. So remember, in Prop A, you have a integrated technology piece, and then in Prop B, it's one-to-one, and we'll talk about that one later. But before Dr. Martinez starts, I do want to say another thing that we have been beating our neighbors at is Parent Square, which is part of this. So we rolled out Parent Square last year, and everyone loved it.
Now taking
Someone else is just now rolling it out, and they all love it. And we all love it. Go ahead.
So, like Stacy mentioned, this part of this Prop A was focused on also supporting some of the classroom technology. And so bringing some of the classrooms up to a minimum district standard with things like sound reinforcement systems, short throw projectors, and docking stations in every classroom, some additional laptop carts, and there were some other portable technology efforts that we'll talk about. You just probably saw some iPad photos yesterday and for our K2 campuses. So.
And then we have campus projects. So a budget of $10 million. So far we've spent 4.4, remaining at 5.6. So we've spent 44% of the budget.
And just some of the projects, classroom furniture, at several of our campuses, Lomax Junior High, LP, Rizzuto, are just a few of those campus storefronts. And so this is a picture of Bayshore, and so just the graphics and being able to provide that for our campuses. Backpack hooks, just 4 of our elementaries got backpack hooks all throughout the hallways, and that is super helpful when you're trying to get those little ones organized each morning. Playground equipment, updated sound systems in several of our elementary campuses, new scoreboard and staff chairs for the entire building at LPJH. And then one of the things that we're doing as a maintenance team is doing a full furniture audit so that we can look at replacing, outdated furniture and just discuss that. So.
I will say on a maintenance side, it's the simplest thing, but keeping the grass mowed and landscaping looking good it's not the easiest thing, but it's certainly something you notice, and the district has gone above and beyond on keeping up with those things. It used to be a major problem, and I'm sure Doc got tired of people sending in pictures of tall grass, but it has certainly not been a problem lately. I was talking about Deanne, by the way.
He's talking about me. It's okay. First impressions are important.
Kudos to the maintenance team.
Usually important. So we also have, and the last part of Prop A is our Legacy Complex, which we just opened. So a budget of $34.9 million, we've spent 30.3, so the remaining 4.6, and so we've spent 87% of the budget for that project.
Yeah, you guys have seen just what a fantastic space this is, not just as a professional learning, but a community space. We've had several events in there already, welcoming our new teachers, several staff trainings, new chamber luncheon for our new teachers, and several other community organizations that have and will benefit from that space for years to come. So it's really another fantastic project. We're about 50% completion on punch list. And so they're still working through warranty issues, those types of things. So, field house and weight room has been getting a lot of use. So it's again exciting to see the students utilizing that space. As they're utilizing this space, we're identifying some things that may need to be addressed. Right. So we're able to do that with that space. But then we're also looking at additional purchases that we can make to support the project. So. If there are other technology needs, now that we've had a few events, and we can say, okay, well, it'd be great if we were able to, have sound in this room, but then also in this room simultaneously, and just so we're able to kind of work through that, and so we're allocating some funds to be able to address some of those things as well. So, really exciting.
Moving on to Prop B, that's our portable technology. So. As you remember, this is a $15 million budget that will be every 2 years. It will be $3 million is used. Is that right? Every 3 years, $5 million.
That's right.
I apologize.
5, that's right.
Anyway, so we have spent $3.1 million so far, and we just did our second bond sale. We did another $3 million. So. We have 11.9 and then 21% left.
And board, I will, as I said earlier, we'll have Brad to give you an update next month on, all of the things that are happening. We wanted to at least have 6 weeks of school going on, so he can really give you a comprehensive update on that. So next month, Bobby.
So they were able to start yesterday with some of their iPad deployment, and so we've got 1,700 iPads for kindergarten through second. An additional 500 student laptops, desktops for CTE, server hardware, access points throughout the district, and control switches. And so that's just examples of what those funds are used for with portable technology.
And finally, Prop C was our Bulldog Stadium, so our budget was $56 million. Expenditures 53, we have $3 million remaining, so we've spent 95% of that budget.
So again, just thank you to everyone involved with Bulldog Stadium. It's one of the gifts that keeps on giving. We're able to look at concessions. We had a meeting today with coolers delivered, and so how do we, kind of get that space set up so that we can serve? And so Stacy and her crew and Ralph, they've done a great job of, getting in there and kind of visioning that for us. Concessions, we look forward to that. We're about 90% completed on punch list items at the Bulldog Stadium. As you guys can imagine, that's an extensive process. And so until we're 100% complete, they're not able to come in and finish those things. We still have a few things to tie up. Ribbon board installation, which we're close. Had a great meeting today, emphasizing our expectations to have that completed. Bleacher transitions, there's a few lighting areas that we're addressing. We had a concrete pour today where we set for getting ready for the street signs to go up. And so, just a few kind of those last touch-up items. But we're getting ready for the community pep rally on the 27th and obviously the border battle game on the 29th. And so we look forward to it. And again, thanks to everyone who's been involved in making that stadium a great place for our students and staff.
Can we please say out loud that we are not over budget
We are not over
on the stadium?
We're not over budget on the stadium.
We're not, that's right. Between the two, I consider both to be the stadium, the center and the stadium. So of that 90.9 million total budget, we are about 7.6 under currently. Are there any substantial expenditures?
Yes, we are not finished paying for the Legacy Complex. We're pretty much done with the Bulldog Stadium. We have obviously different things as the punch list comes through. There's things that you learn. I mean, as Dr. Martinez spoke of, but we still have a couple of pay apps to come through for the Legacy Complex, and so we are dwindling it down. And the big payments are
until we're substantially complete, right? We're not going to pay out on certain things until we've got assurances that we're where we need to be, and so that's kind of where we are on some of
So
that.
this is paid, not allocated.
This is paid.
Do you guys have an estimate on what will come in under budget, like the total under budget number would be?
No, but we can get that for you.
No, I'm curious. I mean, I'm glad that we're
We don't
under.
have it
Just be
We're
under.
not going to be.
Yeah, just be under. But I mean, we'll get you that if we can. Okay.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you all very much.
So real quick, I just have to say, the Uber driver that brought me home today, we had to come down Broadway because of the traffic, and he saw the stadium. He's from Friendswood, but he works at one of the plants, and he said, yes, I've been hearing a lot about this stadium from some people that work that live in a certain district. And he said, I think they're really jealous. But he also said, how do I get tickets? Because I'd like to come see a game in the stadium. So that's exciting, too, to hear people say that.
All right, guys. Russell has threatened my life if I don't get him out of here. He turns
He's about to
got
go
to
to
get 4 a.m. So we're going to move to the item 8, consent agenda. A, determine and approve any consent agenda items. B, approve board meeting minutes. 1, regular board meeting minutes, June 10th, 2025. 2, called board meeting minutes, June 23rd, 2025. And 3, called board meeting minutes, July 22nd, 2025. C, receive financial reports for June 2025. D, receive notice of employment of professional staff. Excuse me. E, receive quarterly investment report for June 2025. F, receive report of cooperative fees paid by LaPorte Independent School District. G, receive 2024-2025 School Health Advisory Council report. H, approve budget amendment. I, approve contract for athletic training services. J, approve interlocal contract with University of Houston Clear Lake. K, approve purchase of facility commissioning services for LaPorte High School renovation. L, approve purchase of special education contracted services. M, approve second reading and adoption of policy updates to FM local. N, approve second reading and adoption of policy updates to FNCE local. O, approve second reading and adoption of TASB policy update 125 affecting local policies BDAA local, BDB local, BDF local, EI local, FDE local, FEC local, and FFAC local. P. Yeah, I could read. It didn't jinx me, thanks to you. P, approved 2025 certified anticipated debt collection rate. Q, approved 2025-26 LaPorte Independent School District Student Code of Conduct. R, approved 2025-26 LaPorte Independent School District Student Handbook. S, approved 2025-26 Texas Teacher Evaluation and Support System, appraisal calendar, and T-test list of teacher appraisers. Mr. Vice President, will you please read the agenda items as presented?
Yes. Consent items A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, and S.
Board, I seek a motion and a second to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those, please vote. In favor?
All those, please vote.
Hello.
I'm pressing.
It's not working.
Start the meeting over.
Board, in interest of, if you guys don't mind, a show of hands, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show that is unanimous approval. We will move now to item I, approved contract for athletic training services.
I just wanted to vote on this separately. I'm not in favor of the contract, and I don't like how it was written. So that's all my comments.
Are there any additional comments, any clarity? If not, I solicit a motion and a second to approve.
I make a motion, we approve the contract.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Let's try this one more time, guys. Again, by show of hands, all those that approve? Any opposed? The record show it is 6-1, and the motion carries. We will now turn to item 9, A, approve receipt and adoption of policy EFB local as per policy BF local.
Good evening once again, Board. So the EFB local is related to instructional resources and the library materials. So this, we're asking you guys to approve receipt and adoption of it. This was one of the policies that TASB recommended that we get before you guys before September 1st. It was kind of the big three, right? FM, FNCE, and EFB. Now, normally we would do a second reading on EFB, but because of the September 1st and BF local, our local policy allows us to, under extenuating circumstances, to adopt, with just one reading. And so Mr. Gilbert and I had some consultation about that. That was also the guidance that we received from TASB that would be able to present this to you all for consideration and adoption after just one reading. And so again, this one has to deal with a wide range of library materials for students and faculty. It provides standards for collection, development, and the selection and evaluation of library materials. And so that's the policy that you have before you right now.
We'll take a motion in a second.
I make a motion, we approve the policy as presented.
Second.
All those in favor? Show of hands. Any opposed?
No.
Motion.
I'm in favor.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. Thank you, guys. All right, finally, item C, consider and approve LaPorte ISD Distinguished Alumni /Staff/Citizen nominations.
I move to approve the Distinguished Alumni Staff Citizen as nominated.
Second.
A motion, Trustee Hanks, and a second from Trustee Perez. That's not who it was. All those in favor? Any opposed? Russell?
No, I'm not opposed. I will see it to work.
Same thing happened to me.
I'm sorry.
All right. Candace, the motion carries unanimously. Thank you guys again. We do not have any action on closed items. We will turn finally to closing comments of the board, trustees, and superintendent. Russell.
I did threaten him, but by the way,
I enjoyed my trip this summer to College Park Elementary. Thank you, Ms. Basile, for taking me down memory lane. I didn't realize how small those little tables were in the cafeteria. Either that, or I just gotten really fat and big, which is probably true. But also, other than that, enjoy the school year. Have fun, but enjoy time for yourself too, because after 4 days, I'm worn out. And by this Wednesday, by this weekend, I'm going to be tired, and next week's going to be a wild trip. So
Sure is.
be ready for it. Say a prayer for me, because I'm on both sides of the place.
Yeah, great job to start the year by everybody, and I would just encourage and remind our staff to continue to keep the important things. Look at those kids' faces. You're making an impact every single day. Your work matters. Everything else will take care of itself. Don't get lost in those details. So, good luck, and also go out and support the non-football sports. There's a lot of things going on. I know volleyball played tonight. But the sport of all sports, and I did not play it, water polo. I swear, I did play. Yeah, I played football, and I thought that was a tough sport. But when someone's trying to drown you for an entire game, that's got to take the cake. But they're doing really, really well.
We used to take the cheerleaders to the water polo, and that's
I just want to say welcome home. Welcome, back to our schools. For the new teachers who are from LaPorte, who came through as alumni, welcome home, and welcome back to Bulldog Stadium. And it's going to be a great year for everyone. I look forward to hearing all the wonderful things that our students and teachers are doing.
Karen?
And I will second what Russell says. There is no tired like teacher after the first week of school tired, even if the week is only 30 days. Feels like 30. So I think I congratulate everybody on a great start to the year. We haven't seen the laundry list of complaints about the phone policy, so I feel like that's gotten off to a really good start, and I'm excited to see that. And I've just heard really good things, and so I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to a great year. Thank you guys for doing such a wonderful job.
I won't repeat everything that everyone said, but y'all have a great year. You are appreciated. We do want to know if you need something, big or small, and just keep doing what you do every day, because you do make a difference.
I hope you had a great start to your school year. I want to thank Limburger for coming out. Probably not the meeting that you anticipated it being, but we certainly appreciate your willingness to want to work with the district, and we hope you appreciate the process that we had to go through. And Mr. Bailey, thank you for coming as well and speaking to the board. So with that, I'll wrap it up.
Yeah, again, there's 100 different thank yous I want to go through, and out of interest of time, I'll just do a few. But the chamber was able to have our, probably 50th new teacher luncheon. We're honored to welcome the new teachers and staff, but this year was different because we had it in the Legacy Center, and on the staff, Dr. Jackson, all the way down to the maintenance crew. We had interns out there moving tables, and it's a ton of work to get that done, but we have heard an overwhelming support and success. People are really excited to see the new facilities and things going on and all the things that are happening in LaPorte ISD. So thank y'all for that and allowing us, the chamber, to be able to host that. Also, I would be remiss, I've kind of worn you guys out over the years, I know, over library books, and so I got the word today, we got a load of library books, and so I get to check that out, and I think several teachers actually texting us, because I'm the village idiot, but they texted me and they were so thankful. They love that we have these new books and things. So again, thank you guys for making that happen.
The board will get an update about that next month.
It's awesome. And then lastly, I just want to say thank you. So again, convocation is always an experience every year, and there's always way you always make it unique and special in so many ways. But this year, man, the thing that really stood out to me, I was so impressed, with the LaPorte High School Choir. It took, again, I'm a little slow. It took me about 2 minutes to realize that when they started singing, that wasn't a recording. And it's just, the amount of work and effort, the band, everybody was there, did a phenomenal job. And so again, thank you guys. That's a great way to kick off the start of the year. So I appreciate all the hard work that went into making that happen. Dr. Jackson, you got anything?
The people out there, board, are the people that helped the charge. All right. we're not the only ones, but the people out there that you're talking to, those principals, those directors, those central administration, all of those folks help to lead it. And so I want to say have a great year, and we appreciate everything.